the word hot in the same sentence as Tampa Bay, and I'm not just talking about a summer afternoon. The real estate market is on fire. And if you're looking to buy or sell a home, now is the time to do it. Whether it's a condo at the beach or a single family home anywhere in the Tampa Bay area, I can help you make those dreams come true. Welcome home, Tampa Bay. Welcome to the Crystal Bay Hotel here along Boca Ciega Bay in St. Petersburg. Hello again, everybody. I'm Al Keck, now with Keller Williams. You know, over the years, you allowed me into your living room every night during the nightly news. Well, now I'd like to help you find maybe a new living room or help you sell your old one. But the home buying process or home selling process can be a long and winding road. Let me help you navigate that road. And it all starts with financing. The most important thing is getting pre-approved for the loan that is perfect for you. It's not as difficult as you may think. All right, but don't take that from me. Take it from Jonathan Davis and Robert Paradis from Bay Equity Home Loans.
The market that we're in right now, by the time you find that house, if you don't have that approval letter, you've already lost that house. That's number one. Number two, you kind of want to know what it is you can buy. We're going to be the ones to tell you to do that. It only takes a couple minutes to do the application. We do everything else for you, and that way you have a blueprint.
Before you put in a bid or you get emotionally attached to a home, get pre-qualified with us first so that you know you're going in, that you can negotiate a price pretty quick because homes are going fast. Very important, especially as a first-time home buyer. This is your biggest purchase in your life, and it's scary, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. And you want somebody to hold your hand throughout the whole process from start to finish and answer any questions that you might have, available on the weekends as well. Because, you know, it is a big purchase, and if you've got a question, you can't sleep, and you need to have that answered, we're available.
We're the ones that are going to give you the financing to purchase the home that you're trying to get into. In addition to that, we have so many partners that we work with: home insurance, home warranties, inspectors, appraisers. All of us combined, connected together is what makes the transaction actually really, really smooth. And again, being local, we're going to have that relationship that you wouldn't normally have if you're working with somebody that's over there. We've got so many loan programs right now, and no one has to have a perfect scenario. If you don't have perfect credit, that's fine. We have programs for that as low as 580 credit score. And in fact, in some cases, you can go as low as 500.
On a case-by-case basis, it just depends on your income and how many is in your household as well. There's some instances to where it's a grant to where you don't have to pay it back. In some instances, we will get you the 3.5% down, but you pay it with no interest. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of different ways. It's just on a case-by-case basis. Again, once you talk to us and we pull your credit, you know what your income bracket is, then we can give you those options as well, and you can decide what's best for you.
Being local allows that opportunity to have that dialogue. We understand our communities better than people on the internet would. And in addition to that, we are able to sit in front of each other and actually connect. If you can sit in front of somebody and actually connect, then it makes it easier to explain what your situation is, which makes it in turn easier for me to do what I need to do for you. And that's what it all boils down to. We can connect better if we're sitting in front of each other.
Jonathan and I have been doing it for quite a while, so we know what's out there. And again, it's on a case-by-case basis, and we give you the best terms possible.
It is a seller's market, which means many of these homes will go very quickly. So an answer may be new home construction. I'm not talking about new home construction way out of town. I'm talking about homes that are fairly close to St. Petersburg and Tampa. But there are some things to remember, and our new home expert is Craig Campbell. For nearly 30 years, Craig Campbell has been involved in almost every aspect of residential real estate. So when Craig says that many times you can get the most for your money by building a new home, he means it.
Well, some of the major advantages to buying a new home and building it from scratch is you get to pick the exact floor plan that works best for you and your family. You get to pick the lot that it sits on that is most favorable to how you like to live your life. In addition to that, the homes today are so much more efficient than they were even 5 to 10 years ago that you're going to save a lot of money on your energy bills compared to a home that was built, say, 10, 15 years ago. Oftentimes, it is less expensive to build a new home than it is to renovate an old one. The costs and time alone to renovate an old house can be substantial. Many of my clients that buy new construction homes have already bought a house 10, 15 years ago, and between the hassle and inconvenience of renovating, the cost overall is lower to buy a new home.
We actually relocated from up north, and Craig went above and beyond. It wasn't just a matter of the house and designs and materials and helping us with that. He helped us with any questions we had with respect to the area, schools, etc. You can imagine the number of phone calls we were making. We were still living up north, and we were constantly calling Craig. Never a problem, always got back to us immediately, always had the right answers. So it was a stressful situation that was made a lot less stressful through Craig.
It means a lot to me to be able to help these people make the transition. Buying a home when you live in the same town is stressful enough. Building a home adds an extra level of stress to that situation. Doing it from halfway across the country is a whole nother thing. Being able to alleviate their concerns, their potential stresses before they occurred was very satisfying for me to help them make that transition and process very smooth. Very satisfying for me to do the final walkthrough with these folks. I've been with them from signing the contract, weekly contact, all the way until we do the final walkthrough. Many times there is a gap in communication or even a slowdown in the process, but it's satisfying to me to know that I've been in contact with them the entire time, so they've never felt like there's out of the loop or maybe a slowdown. Most of my clients are extraordinarily happy at the end of the process because of that high level of communication.
You're watching Welcome Home Tampa Bay.
Red brick roads paved the way to a special spot from Gulf to Bay, where baseball legends roam the halls with cocktail legends you may recall. For 100 years she's pushed back the tides, so stop on in and you decide. Relax, refresh, and relive the past today at Florida's most historical bed and breakfast, the Crystal Bay Hotel. A tasty adventure of near mystical proportions, where butterflies are free to fly. Come fly away to Crystal Bay.
Make the Sports Shack your MVP, most valuable place. Your place to take in your favorite sports events on walls filled with big screens. Your place for tantalizing wings, burgers that drip, and daily specials that remind you of home. It's also your place for trivia or simply to talk and visit with friends. So get to the Sports Shack on Missouri Avenue in Clearwater.
Welcome home, Tampa Bay. I'm Al Keck. Now, I call this my Yeah But segment. I love this house, but the kitchen, or my new home is the best. But, you get the idea? Well, let me introduce you to a designer, John Berry. He can help you take those buts and turn them into a major yes. John Berry loves everything about making your home your dream home. It's not just his job. It's not just his career. John believes it's his calling.
I got started in architecture that way. In the 9th grade, I designed a house that my parents eventually wound up building. It opened the door for me to become an architect, and as a result of that, I've kind of followed the idea of getting involved in housing ever since.
And since 9th grade, John has done it all. He's been an architect. He designs new homes. And now he's focusing on remodeling and turning your ideas into a place that you call home.
This is a process, whether you're doing a new home or remodeling. The process involves, first of all, having a concept. What is it in the mind of the homeowner that they want to achieve? The second thing is, then you have to develop that design, and then you have to document it for permitting authorities and for the contractor to be able to build it the way you want it. And then finally, you got to go build it.
The thing that I like and appreciated most about John, other than his really warm and authentic personality, is his ability to listen. And in working with architects on other projects that I've been involved with over the years in houses where I've lived, the one true differentiating advantage that John has is that he spends a lot more time listening than he does talking in the beginning.
It's the qualitative issues that are really important. What are those mental images that the client has accumulated that they're turning into words to me that they expect me to translate into a physical solution?
He understands your needs before he commits anything to paper. And you find that a lot of what he winds up coming up with in ideas are things that really never came out of your mouth, but he learned from talking to you, not only about things that you told him were important, but about things that he surmised from having a discussion and getting to know you.
At the end of the process, not only are they happy, they're prideful in what they've accomplished or I've helped them accomplish. So prideful, in fact, that they'll recommend me to other clients, and when they take people into their home and show them what was done, they're saying, look what we were able to accomplish in this 1924 bungalow. I see the pride, but it also gives me an opportunity when I show other people to say, look, here's what I've been able to do for this family. I think I can do the same thing for you if you give me that chance.
Now, for many of you looking to sell your home, it may need some major work. So why not get a home inspection before you even start the process? And one of the best inspectors in the entire Tampa Bay region is John Gibson.
In my business, I treat the house like as if I'm buying it. And I've been doing that for 20 years. It's no different. It doesn't matter if it's a small home or multi-million-dollar house. I look at the house how I would want it to look. I pretty much know what I'm looking for. Being an instructor for over 19 years, teaching the industry to potential new home inspectors, I find it satisfying, to see someone out there properly doing it the right way. The 5 arteries are roof, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, foundation. Pools can also be included. So those are the big type items that most consumers want to know what's going on. A lot of times during the inspection, the house, in some cases, has already committed suicide. So it's our job to go in and find out why this house has done what it's done. Our job is to basically find not so much what's right with the house, but mainly what's wrong with the house, because that's really what the inspection is wanting to find out for the home buyers. There's things you have to look at on a roof: curling, loss of granules, discoloration, soft spots, wavy ridges, damaged lead boots from the squirrels, which is a very common thing here in Florida. So a lot of things to look for. Any kind of staining, especially active staining in the attics, in the ceilings of the house and the drywall, those can tell you simply what's going on with the roof. Those are big selling points during a home inspection and also when selling a house. So having those done properly, don't cheap out on that kind of stuff. It needs to be done right. But those are big areas. So new appliances, that's another selling feature. Upgrading old, outdated breaker boxes is another important one, because there are plenty of recalled breaker boxes that a lot of consumers don't know about, so definitely research that. Newer water heaters, because they're only good for 10 years on average. AC system, making sure that everything is up and running, it's cooling properly. So those are the big factors. Well, unfortunately with sinkholes in Florida, no inspector can actually predict Mother Nature. You know, if it wants to open up and take a house, it's going to happen. But issues that you do want to look for is any kind of excessive cracking on the exterior of a block structure, cracking to the interior of drywall, windows and doors not fitting properly. Those are good indications of foundation failure.
John Gibson can help you inspect your home any place in the Tampa Bay region. Welcome home, Tampa Bay.
Red brick roads paved the way to a special spot from Gulf to Bay, where baseball legends roam the halls with cocktail legends you may recall. For 100 years she's pushed back the tides, so stop on in and you decide. Relax, refresh, and relive the past today at Florida's most historical bed and breakfast, the Crystal Bay Hotel. A tasty adventure of near mystical proportions, where butterflies are free to fly. Come fly away to Crystal Bay.
Make the Sports Shack your MVP, most valuable place. Your place to take in your favorite sports events on walls filled with big screens. Your place for tantalizing wings, burgers that drip, and daily specials that remind you of home. It's also your place for trivia, or simply to talk and visit with friends. So get to the Sports Shack on Missouri Avenue in Clearwater.
Welcome home, Tampa Bay. I'm Al. Maybe you own your home. Maybe you own your home and it needs repair. Or maybe you want to get out from under your home and you're looking for quick cash to move on. Or maybe you're even an investor looking to put money into the real estate market. Well, here's Jimmy Culler. He's taken the business of flipping homes and turned it not only into a career, but he's also helping establish neighborhoods. Some see old and run down. Jimmy Culler sees potential and opportunity. Jimmy likes nothing more than taking a property that has seen better days and giving it his brand of TLC.
It's the same feeling that you get after you mow your grass, I guess, probably, you know, when you finish the job well done and you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's nice.
And for Jimmy, it's a labor of love. For his sellers, it's a chance to get cash quickly. Jimmy will buy the property for cash. Many times that means closing the deal in days with no worries of inspection or appraisals. Jimmy then remodels the home and either resells or keeps as a rental.
Because we're dealing in cash, there really is no guesswork involved. Once we agreed upon a price, that is the price, and we'll just go forward to close.
And you're buying as is.
Correct. They're not going to have any requests of repairs or updates made in that process.
And for buyers, it means an opportunity to buy or rent an updated home.
So it's like a new house. The neighborhood's already established, so we're updating a house that's already in that neighborhood. So we may have a new roof, new appliances, new air conditioning. There are warranties that can be transferred with most of those items. So it's a really big benefit to the buyer.
So owners get immediate cash without going through a long closing process. Buyers get a new home in an established neighborhood. And Jimmy gets to create.
I enjoy seeing the projects go from start to finish, turning something around and making it better, helping, beautify properties. The neighbors certainly appreciate that as well.
You never think about homeowners insurance until you need it. it. We all know what we went through with Hurricane Irma. But it's not just flooding from a storm that you have to worry about. You need to protect the most important investment in your life. Well, listen to Greg and Rich at Homeowners Insurance.
We're an independent agency. We don't represent just one company. We represent 10 companies. Now, not all companies write in every county, and there are certain restrictions that some people won't qualify, age of home or certain other factors too. But we have typically 5-6 companies that we can select from and quote their homeowners policy with.
The flood company that we represent, Wright Flood Insurance, they said that there was over 7,500 plus flood claims from Irma, with the average payout at $46,000. So it's not a penny. You know, it can be very expensive, you know, not to have flood insurance, and it's just something that you should really consider.
People only think about the hurricane portion of it. What's going to happen if a hurricane hits? However, 85% of all claims are water damage claims, and the average water claim is between $17,000 and $20,000. So, and as the homes get older, we always find it, the older homes always have the most water problems. And there are a significant amount of older homes in Pinellas County and Hillsborough County.
The good thing is we can put them at ease because we can protect their fears. We can provide them with flood coverage in the event that we do have a disaster. I mean, you were around here with Irma. I live in Tarpon Springs, which seems to flood a lot lately. And when I evacuated my home, I was fairly certain, I do have flood insurance by the way, I was fairly certain that I was going to have a lot of damage, you know, because it looked like that was going to come up the coast and throw a lot of water on us. We did not, we were lucky. But we can take care and explain how they can protect their fears and their personal property and their dwelling as well.
If you have hurricane clips, if you have hurricane wraps, if you have an 8-penny nail, which is a larger, thicker nail holding the roof as opposed to a 6-penny nail, and also when the roof was replaced. If the roof was replaced after 2001, you're going to get a discount for that. And these discounts can add up substantially. I've had clients, the average is probably about $400 to $500 a year, but I've had them save up over $1,000 on their premium at times.
When's the best time to get flood?
The best time is now because I can't predict the future, and if we do have an event 6 weeks from now, if you have your flood policy in effect or buy it today, you'll have coverage in 30 days.
Homeowners Insurance. Go to their website, homeowners4less.com. You're watching Welcome Home Tampa Bay. One of the most overlooked but most important parts of the home buying process is finding the right title company. The title company is a third party that makes sure that there are no legal issues on your property. It can be complicated, but not as difficult as it seems. And it can always be a help to pick a title company that is run by an attorney. It just gives you added protection. Here's Anthony Serber of AWS Title Services.
Title insurance is the only insurance that insures past events, not future. And if you've got the experience and you've been doing it a long time, you really shouldn't have issues. Those issues are resolved before the closing. And I see a lot of companies get in a rush to appease their client, that realtor maybe that referred them. Just close the deal and get it done. I kind of equate it this way. If my AC is broken, I'm going to hire an AC company, a professional, to make sure that it's done the right way. That's what we are here. We're an independent third party between the buyer and the seller, facilitating a title insurance policy, covering any and all claims that could come against the property. And that's what I pride myself in doing it the right way from start to finish.
And with that, since you're an attorney, why not have an attorney to add that extra safeguard, right?
Absolutely. It's, again, the premiums are set by the state of Florida based on the purchase price. Attorneys can't charge any more than non-attorneys. It's set by the state. It's illegal, actually, to charge any more or any less. And you've got that added protection of having an attorney review your file, review your title examination, look at your policy, making sure it's done right. And if you cut corners, you will have a problem, I can assure you of that. And it's tedious, sometimes it gets a little mundane, but it's making sure you go back to the basics. You do your title examination, you make sure that everything has been clear. People are intercepting emails, giving false bank wiring instructions. You've really got to just make sure that you go back, pick up the phone, call these people. Too many people and companies rely on email. And those companies are going to have some big problems. Pick up the phone. Make sure you're talking to Mr. Davis. Ask him questions about the property. Make sure you've got the right person. I've seen a lot of bad things as of late, and that stuff keeps me up at night, so I make sure that I'm at the forefront of what's going on. One of my most favorite parts of the transaction is sitting at the closing table with that buyer, and that seller for that matter, but it's a huge day for them. You know, they're moving their kids, they're moving their family, everything that they've ever worked for. And if something goes wrong throughout that process, whether it's not communicating with that buyer or that seller or their real estate agent, or a problem coming up 2-3 days before closing, that's not good for anybody, and especially that buyer.
Red brick roads paved the way to a special spot from Gulf to Bay, where baseball legends roam the halls with cocktail legends you may recall. For 100 years she's pushed back the tides, so stop on in and you decide. Relax, refresh, and relive the past today at Florida's most historical bed and breakfast, the Crystal Bay Hotel. A tasty adventure of near mystical proportions, where butterflies are free to fly. Come fly away to Crystal Bay.
Here's hoping I've helped you understand the home buying process a little bit more. You've met some businesses and some people that would love to help you. And it all starts with me. If you have a dream of buying a new home, I'd love to be the person to help you. If you would like to sell your current home, I'd love to be the person to help you, because now is the perfect time to either buy or sell your home. Here's my contact info. Drop me a line or give me a call, and let's make it happen. I'm Al Keck. We'll see you next time on Welcome Home.